Oh, next subject. Top 5 teams that did not make the playoffs this year, but will make it next year. We starting with you, John. Since we started with Water on the first one, we starting with you on this one. Who you got?
This is tough because can we go through all the teams or like just
Got time? Go ahead.
okay,
Go
okay.
ahead.
It's our damn show. We can. Shit.
I believe in Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence is gonna get it done. He'll be in a couple AFC championships before his career is over, maybe a Super Bowl, but they're still a couple years away. So the Jaguars are out. The Texans are out. I compare the Texans to like the Panthers, man. If talent walks through the door, they will make the most of it, but they do not. They let a lot of talent walk out the door that they should have held on to. So for that, I say the Texans are out. The Jets, man, they're not a winning. I don't think there's a lot of pressure from the NFL on them or from the fans to even be a winning culture there. Like I feel like they just coast every year.
Unless you might.
And when they had Mark Sanchez, who by the way took them to two straight AFC championships in Brady's division, and all he gets remembered for is the butt fumble. Like I'm sorry, that whole team they're a joke. So nah, the Jets are out. The Broncos, though, I do believe the Broncos are one of them outside teams where they do have a winning culture. They like to win, and they will go make moves to get it done. You know, we saw them in the past go out and make big trades to get certain people. But I don't believe they're a sure thing. One of my biggest picks, and they dropped way down in the rankings, was the Ravens. Like I said, man, they had 9 games uh, decided by 3 points or less. Like I
True.
think if they stay healthy and roll out Justin Tucker on them plays, I believe they're a playoff team, and I believe they have the talent. And I believe in Lamar Jackson. He was MVP just a couple years ago. So yeah, in my top 5 teams is the Ravens. And then the Browns, man. The Browns, they have an outside chance. They always do. They're kind of like well, I don't know. I guess they're their own thing, but they need to. That's the thing is they need to find an identity. Like I believe the Browns need to find identity. If they do that, I think they have an outside chance. But they're not in my top 5. Chargers. Listen, man. Justin Herbert is the new Philip Rivers. Like he's gonna rack up a lot of stats, but they're a 9-7 team. Well, now 10-7, I guess, with the extra game. But they're a 10-7 team every year. Like they don't. I never see improvement from this. I don't know, and I'm hoping they are because I like the Chargers. I like what I see from them. I like a lot of the players, but not top 5. And then the Dolphins, man. This is the Bears of the AFC. Like they're right there, middle of the pack every year. Like there's a reason these two teams trade get a different coach every couple of years because like they're teams that are searching for what's going to fix them, but they just never figure it out. Like I don't, you know what I mean? But they're a playoff every 50% of the time, so I say they have an outside shot. But definitely the Colts. So Ravens and Colts from the AFC. I got Ravens and Colts. I think Jonathan Taylor he gets a little more touches. I hope he stays healthy. But these are all based on if they stay healthy. And then in the NFC, no Lions are a couple years away. The Giants are a couple years away. The Panthers not a chance. Um, and then the Bears, man. Like I said, I give them a chance, but. And then the Falcons, nope. They are rebuild mode. Like, I'm sorry, like Matt Ryan's got to pull a Matt Stafford here. He's yeah, Matt Stafford, right? He's got to pull it. He's got to go find himself another team and move on. I say nope. For me, this one for sure. Seahawks. I believe the Seahawks are with Russell. If they keep Russell Wilson, if they don't have Russ Wilson, not a shot. So I got the Colts, the Ravens, the Seahawks, and then of course the Commanders. As weird it is to say, man, if that team stays healthy, they can ball. I mean, they got a good running back, they got good receiver, they got I believe Heineke's a decent quarterback, an above average quarterback, with the potential to be maybe top 10, on a given year. I believe the Commanders. So, and then the Vikings. I'm gonna say last the Vikings. Obviously the Saints. I believe in Jameis Winston, and so I give them an outside shot. But I think the Vikings, man. Dalvin Cook stays healthy. Justin Jefferson, I truly believe, has the potential to be the number one receiver in this league. The next, Calvin Johnson, Randy Moss, whoever that guy is. You know what I mean? Like I believe he has that Ocho Cinco potential. So yeah, that's mine. Is the Ravens, the Colts, the Seahawks, the Commanders. So weird to say, and then of course the Vikings.
Well,
All right.
All
All right.
right.
So
You want
go
to
ahead, brother. What?
go ahead, Nico? You can. I'll finish this out.
Okay. I'm gonna go. I ain't gonna lie, John. I'm gonna have to disagree with you on the Chargers. I think the
I hope I'm
Chargers.
wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but
I
they
think the way their defense played down the stretch, they were bend but don't break. And I think if you can give Justin some time, hopefully him and Mike Williams, him and Keenan Allen, him and Austin Eckler can develop chemistry. They, I think their problem is they need a tight end. They don't have a tight end. They ain't had one since Antonio Gates.
The offensive line is somewhat trash too.
I mean, no, they gave him some time this year. It was they were 50-50. They were 50-50. Some games they were trash. Some games they were pretty good. But I think if they can get a tight end with all those weapons and that defense can stay healthy, the Derwin James of the world, Asante Samuels Jr., Joey Bosa, I think they can be in the playoffs. Another team, I think Houston. I think Houston will surprise a lot of people because defensively, if you watch them last 5 games, every team. I mean, think about it. The Chargers, that one game they lost to Houston could have helped them get in the playoff. They were a problem down the stretch. They were giving teams a lot of problems. So I
You know,
think
it's 18 weeks in the season, right?
I'm I'm aware.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I mean if you can get some consistent quarterback play, because I mean Mills looked good down the stretch. Let's be honest. He wasn't. I mean, he picked it up later, but if he can pick it up from game one and just develop throughout the season, I think they can be okay. And even the most quiet guy that's been consistent down there, Cook, the receiver. I think he still had like a 1,300 yard season. So I don't know how you really build around him. Hopefully, he can stay healthy.
I
Um,
just, I just feel like they got a lot to try to fix before they become a playoff team
well,
next
I mean, think about it though. Now, all you gotta do is, be the bottom half to make it in the. Look at the Cardinals or look at the Bears the year before last. They lost. They were what 8-8 going into the playoffs, and they still gave New Orleans a great game. It was just a couple throws that Mitch, didn't make, and who's to say
yeah,
New Orleans didn't go on? It could have easily been Bears and Tampa in the second round of the playoffs last year before last. I'm gonna go with John on this one. I think the Commanders. I think if they, Chase Young, depending on how he comes back, hopefully he can still be his dominant self. Um, I think with them, I think they need a big body receiver, man. You gonna need somebody that can win them jump balls.
yeah.
You can't be trying to throw jump balls to Terry McLaurin when Trayvon Diggs is on him.
Hey, that's a good landing spot for Devontae Adams, maybe if they can go get him.
It could be. It could be. It could be. Very true. 100%. I think the Saints make the playoffs this year. I think the Saints.
We
With
go another Jameis believer. Come on over. Come on
no,
over.
no, it's
Come on
not
over to
even.
the dark
It's
side.
but same thing. Their
This is,
defense.
I was
If
just about
they
to say that defense is crazy, man.
if their defense could
I
play
agree.
everybody like they play Tampa Bay, that defense could be top 2 in the league. Think about it. They shut Tom Brady down in Tampa. Now, if you could have did that, I mean, I know you're gonna have days where you can't, but if you can do that consistently with Jameis, hopefully Michael Thomas comes back.
They gave him fits the last couple of years that he was down there. Kind of like remember how Miami always gave him fits compared to the rest of his.
Yeah, it's some about them warm weather teams in his division, man. And then my last but not least, I agree with John on this one. The Vikings. It's gonna be interesting to see how O'Connell, he's gonna be in his first year of calling things. He's gonna see how he can get that offense going. If he does something different than Mike Zimmer, I'm sorry. If he can, if he can do some things differently, get that offense running and consistent throughout 4 quarters, I don't see why they can't make the playoffs. They got too much defensively not to make the playoffs. You got Aaron Barr,
Yeah.
Eric Hendricks,
I
Harrison.
hate seeing bad or good defenses go to waste because
Yeah,
the offenses, man.
and you pretty much wasted all their youth, honestly.
Yeah.
Because Harrison Smith is not getting any younger. If I was
Yeah.
him,
And same for the Steelers, man. Like they've had some good players here. We're seeing T.J. Watt and Minka and all them. Their prime is not, what I mean? Because think about it, man. And this is totally off subject, but J.J. Watt's only like 4 or 5 years older than his brother. He's already on the downside of his career. We're seeing T.J. just hit his prime. Like you don't want to waste the next 4 years of his career. Like,
right.
I mean, and J.J. also had a lot of injuries as well, though. I mean, and
I agree, but when you're playing that fast and that physical, it could happen to this guy too.
I mean, that's true.
He was an interior
able to keep his up.
line. He was an
Yeah,
interior.
but I just hate seeing Khalil Mack, Roquan Smith, like all these guys. I hate seeing their careers go to waste because of
And I think the Ravens
all them guys.
I think the Ravens too.
Okay.
Yeah, the Ravens, and I think a sleeper is your Browns.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of bubble teams. I think, Browns are definitely right there.
I think this year more than any other year before, I think Baker's on a hot seat.
I was just about to say, honestly, we go as far as Baker take us next year.
He's on a hot seat. It's like,
it's either you got to have a good season next year, or you got to have a bad season. If you have a bad season, more than likely he's probably getting shipped out. So I mean, honestly, he pretty much playing for either if he's gonna stay in Cleveland or not, or if he's gonna be gone next year. Honestly.
I say y'all do like the Bears and sign him to $18 million, 6 years, like Jay Cutler, and then just see if he eventually gets good enough to get it done. While Brad Marshall, Greg Olsen, Matt Forte, all these guys go out the door. But
honestly, we already had Odell go out the door. They always talk about Jarvis going out the door. I mean,
let me ask you this. Well,
yes, sir.
What do you think y'all need? Like another weapon, or just Baker to get it done? What do you think y'all need for y'all to take that next step?
Honestly, bro, I feel like we have all the pieces we need. We don't need any other pieces. I mean, like we look great on paper. It's just the fact that we actually have to go out and execute. We have to actually go out there and want it. And I mean, like I said, we look good on paper, but we have to actually just go out there and execute the game plan and just show the world that we actually that good team that's on paper. But it's just they don't go out and do that.
Even if you have to use all three running backs, like that team should be running the ball 30, 35 times.
I feel like we should do definitely a lot of running, a lot of play action as well. But I mean,
even if you're only giving them 10 carries each, man.
Because if we can feed Chubb more, that would take a lot more pressure off of Baker. You know what I'm saying? And that way he won't be throwing so many interceptions or whatever, feeling uncomfortable. Like I said, I just want Baker to get healthy. Since that was his whole excuse last year, he was unhealthy. Whatever. Let's see you get healthy this year, and just you got to show us what you got now, bro. Simple as that.
Because I think, like John was saying earlier about the Vikings, you don't want to waste the youth you have in Cleveland. Myles Garrett, Clowney, that secondary.
Bro, we have the talent, man. And I just felt like with these last couple of years, it's just been a waste. I don't want to say a waste, but I mean, like I said, it's just been very hard to watch because, like I said, again, we have the team, but we're just not executing.
Yeah, and because I feel like if you're gonna waste the guy's talent, you owe it to him. Like like Stephon Diggs, you owe it to him to send him to a team where he can compete, right? Like you can't just have him waste.
But that's a lot of people you gotta let go. I mean, you gotta think about it.
I know, but I'm saying like it just. County. I'm saying as a team, you got to keep these guys. But I'm saying, like, as a fan, I'm sitting there like, man, you wasted this dude's, 6 years of his career, 4 or 5 years of his career, like his prime. Like, that makes me so mad at teams when they do that. When they know they're not going to win. Like, they know they're not going to even push. Like, Calvin Johnson, man, that makes me mad what they did to his career.
But what I'm saying is they got about 6 players on that defense that you can say that about all of them. You got Denzel Ward, probably one of the most low-key corners that, he just made the Pro Bowl. Then you got Greedy Williams on the other side. Then you got the two linemen,
You
Miles
got
Garrett, Jadavian Clowney. You got Delpit, the second year safety out of LSU in the back. You know, that's five right there.
Rodney Harrison. I mean,
Yeah.
we got the pieces. Like I said, we look great on paper, but it's just the fact of I don't know. Like I said, injuries and just people not coming out there with heart to want to play. But I'm gonna go ahead and do my little, top five, non-playoff teams that didn't make it. I'm gonna first start off with the Seahawks. Just like I said, what John was saying as well, seeing if they still have Russell. I'm about to say Russell Westbrook, Russell Wilson. See if he's still going to be there as quarterback or whatnot. Really not sure if he is going to be there. I really would like to actually see him move on, honestly, but that's neither here or there. That's a topic for another day. My number four, I'll say the Cardinals. I'm expecting hopefully D Hop to be healthy. You know what I'm saying, and for them to bounce back, I should say. But yeah, my number three, I have to agree with y'all again with the Vikings. I definitely see them making the playoffs. Just that defense goes crazy as always. It's just up to Kirk Cousins if he can limit his mistakes, I should say. Number two, Patriots. I'm just kind of interested to see if Mac Jones is going to have a slump in his sophomore year or if he's going to strive in his sophomore year. So with that coach, I should say with him being around Bill Belichick, I feel like that's a good place for him to be because that system is clearly being built around him. So I'm kind of like I said, curious to see how far. I think they can go pretty far in the playoffs next year. And just my number one, what we were just talking about, the Browns. I'm hoping I won't have to keep saying maybe next year, but yeah, just
sounding like a Cowboy fan after.
We sound like Bears fans too, but we're not going to say
no,
that.
we don't. No, we know our limits. Don't do that.
But yeah, man, just like I said, I'm hoping that Baker, he's like Nico said, he's on the hot seat, man. I'm hoping that he can have a bounce back season and not just keep saying that injuries was the problem. So come back next season healthy, and show the world what you got, bro. Simple as that.
I agree. I think all of our lists, is gonna be it's some guys that's gonna have to make a break. You gotta come with it.
And it just also if who they pick up in a free agency or however the free agency goes,
we definitely we kind of jumped the gun on this one because obviously we're going to see a ton of changes come, and then we're going to probably change some of our lists. But
we can always do a preseason version,
Yeah, but right now, like I feel like if these teams, if these players stay healthy, I think we agree on a lot of stuff. I think but the key is staying healthy, and that's not easy to do in the NFL.
Yeah.
Which is why the Pro Bowl is a joke because like who's going to mess up their money for a Pro Bowl, right? Like you tell me, oh, you can make $50K if you win. I'm like, yeah, I'll make a lot more if I don't get hurt too. So
that's why I days ago.
Yeah,